Alright, so today I'm going to go over creating a simple medical viewer using Claude AI. I found this to be extremely helpful for code generation and code debugging. About 15 years ago I created a medical imaging program to look at some DICOM images, scroll through them and do some basic image manipulation. I found that some of the other software packages at the time weren't very helpful and I wanted to add some extra functionality, and it was extremely difficult to get anything running. I had used C++ and some software packages called ITK, VTK, and Qt, which were very powerful but very difficult to get working correctly. And so today I'm just going to show how easy it is to get something up and running very quickly, even if you don't have a lot of experience with coding. But I'm going to be using in my Ubuntu setup today, and Claude tends to default to using Python for most of its recommended code, or something like HTML or React if you do web development. But this will show today how we can get something very simple going and how you can get an idea up and running pretty quickly. So first, to start, I'm actually just going to draw what I want my program window to look like. So I'll use GIMP to do this. So we're just going to have the main window, something like this, and then up at the top we're going to have a bar that's going to have some buttons for whatever we want, and then we're going to have a left-sided window pane that's going to have patient study series, kind of in a tree structure, and then this main right-sided window is going to actually show the image. So we're going to save this, and we'll just save it as layout. Let's replace that. Then we're going to do export. We'll save this. I drew an image previously that was pretty crappy looking, so do this. So that's what our layout's going to look like. So we can come to the Claude window and we'll drag this layout into the website here. And then, alright, I am a software developer and I would like to create a program for viewing medical images. The images will be in DICOM format. The layout should look something like the attached image. At the top there will be buttons used to select loading images or changing the window level, things like that. And on the bottom left there will be a tree structure which will show the patient, study, and series, or a loaded directory. Oh, I should also mention that the directory loaded should be searched recursively. And then also the right hand pane should consist of a single window to display the images. The user should be able to scroll through the images using the center mouse wheel. And you'll notice that I don't do any formatting for the input. I don't say period, I don't put question marks in, I don't even fix any possible typos. I just speak like I normally would. Claude does a really good job of cutting through all the text garbage and figuring out exactly what I want. So here we have a simple program here, but you see here Claude actually doesn't implement any of these things here. Load directory, update tree view, display image, adjust window level, anything like that. So let's go ahead and tell it to do that. Could you implement all the methods in the script? Here we go. So it implements all these methods: load directory, search DICOM files, update tree view, display image, adjust window level, on mouse wheel. So those are all the methods that are required for what we requested in our initial prompt. But let's also go ahead and show how we can set up this development environment if we're not familiar with Python. So I'm not very familiar with Python development. Could you show me how to set up a development environment in order to implement this program? I am using Ubuntu. Well, let's just go ahead and do this. I already have a development environment set up, but let's go ahead and do this. So I'll bring this over here. Alright, so let's just go ahead and run these steps. I don't really need to do everything here, but go ahead and do it. Alright, so let's go ahead and install that. Let's go ahead and go to my project directory that I have set up. I know you're not supposed to use spaces in Linux directory structure, but whatever. Well, we don't need to make that directory, I don't think. Let's just create a virtual environment. Here we go. You see I already have this other environment here. That's because I'm using Conda also, but let's just do that. Conda deactivate. Okay, so now we're only in the virtual environment. Let's see here, pip install. All right, I already have VS Code installed, so we don't need to worry about that. But anyway, so that's setting up our development environment there. So next we need to actually create the Python file and save it. So we will use VS Code for that. Here's our Visual Studio Code. Now we're gonna have to go up here and reload everything here. So we'll copy that. We will create a new file. We'll create a Python file, and we will save us. Let's do projects. Let's see what does our also DICOM viewer. Let's do that. All right. So here's our code. Let's go ahead and try it. All right. So here is our DICOM viewer right here. So there's buttons here. Load directory. Let's see how it works. Load directory. I have this directory with some images from the Alzheimer's disease neuroimaging initiative, showing a couple subjects there with some different studies. So we'll go ahead and load that, open that. Oh, see, it crashed. So we got argument one is a person name. So let's see here, Q standard item. So we do have an error. So let's see here. Let's go ahead and put this in here. Copy that. I get the following error. So it suggested some fixes based on the error that I gave to Claude, stating that you should have to convert the name of the patient to a string in order to correctly call the relevant method. Sometimes it's a little bit difficult to fix everything up, put in where other methods remain the same, rest of the code remains the same. So we're just going to tell it to print the entire script out. Can you print out the entire script? We have what we need. Let's go ahead and paste everything, save the new file. Let's go ahead and run it, see what happens. So load directory, add new directory, and we got a root. So we've got these patients, and you can see that they are separated into study series and all the instances or images. So great. So let's see here. Great. Now we have to make it so that if we double click on the series name, it will load. So let's go ahead and implement that functionality. We'll close this. Forgot to specify that in the initial code. So far the setup is good. I would like to now be able to double click on a series name, and that series will be loaded into the image viewer. You see there's a typo here. It's supposed to be I didn't fix it, and it figures out what I want anyway. So here you can see that there's now an implementation of on-tree item double clicked. Then the load series, mouse wheel to work with the current series to scroll through it. Let's see if this all works. Okay, we'll copy here. Save our new file. All right, so it loads that. It's a amyloid PET. Here is the T1, but you can see everything's out of order here. So we gotta go back and fix that now. The images are out of order. Can you put the series images in the correct order? That should be good enough to figure out what I need. So the program Claude implemented now, sorting the images by, I think that says instance number here. Fallbacks to the acquisition time if there's no instance number key available, which there should always be an instance number, more or less. But here we go. So let's go ahead and try this now. So save the new file, and here's our new DICOM viewer. Load directory, open. There we go. So that looks pretty good. Now let's go ahead and look at. There we go, and there it is. And I'm scrolling with my mouse wheel, so that's pretty good. Now one thing is we don't have this window level implemented. Let's go ahead and do that. One last simple thing to do, hopefully simple. So far everything works great. I would now like to implement the window level. In order to implement, I would like it so that the user can hold down the left mouse button and drag the mouse, and the window and level will be dynamically adjusted based on mouse dragging. So implemented the method using where left right mouse movement will adjust the window width, and then up down mouse movement will adjust the window center. But in the code you can see here is keep other existing methods. So I would just like to be able to copy and paste the whole thing. So print out the entire script. So here we have the entire script. So we'll copy that, paste and save. Now let's run it. Oh, look at this. We're missing our window level button. It removed it. We don't need that anymore. We'll just load the directory. Let's go ahead and load this T1. We'll scroll to the middle, and then I'm holding my left mouse button down, dragging. There you go. Window level adjusted. There it is. In addition, after printing out the entire new script, gave some info on how to run the script again, what features we've implemented, and then also made some suggestions for new things to do. Zoom and pan, measurement tools, save adjusted images, documents. This is really good. So could probably do all these things if we really wanted to, but this is just demonstrating that we can get a fully functional image viewer with just some simple requests. Now you can see actually I'm scrolling through here, and the window level is not carried between the images. We could just ask for that to be done, and it should be done without a problem. But there we go. All right, well, now we've implemented a simple image viewer, which 15 years ago took me forever to do. It was extremely difficult to learn code, get everything set up, but here we can just have Claude create one for us, and if we have any questions about setting up the development environment, what languages to use, anything like that, we can also ask that. And in addition, at the very end, there are suggestions made by Claude about how to make the program even better. So there we are. I hope you enjoyed the video.